matchups. Now, we've been pretty safe so far with our predictions, almost getting completely boomed in that match number 6. But this next one, this is where we tend to disagree. Teddy being the lone dissident, and you can kind of see where he's coming from. We are dealing with, in Na'Vi, last year's Grand finalist, coming in second place runner-up, really impressive. And they had a slow start this year, right? They got folded into that EMEA region a little bit later on, but they made up for lost time pretty quickly.
Exactly that. Na'Vi have got that World Finals experience at the latest possible stage. But in terms of a LAN setting, that's where Tribe Gaming NA have a bit of an edge. Now, for Tribe Gaming NA, it was a really fantastic flying start to the year. Towards the end, there was some results along the way in September and August that weren't great for them. So it's about having left that in the past, coming in fresh here today and reminding themselves of who they are.
Yeah, again, look, we start to see a lot more parity become established in the North America and LATAM North region, right? Especially teams like Vitra Gaming turning up. This Tribe team losing to Obey Alliance of all teams in the most recent sort of monthly final quarterfinals. Definitely an upset loss for them, and they're starting to realize, hang about, the rest of the field here is looking really competitive in North America. We spent much of yesterday talking up Vitra Gaming because of how insane they've been over the second part of the season. NA is getting stronger and stronger. Tribe have to stay afloat.
Yeah, they are a team with so much experience behind them, and that counts for a great deal. The last couple of results weren't the best, let's be honest, but nonetheless, it's being able to pick yourselves up, and that's what's important.
And of course, for a team like Tribe NA, their LAN experience is basically unparalleled. These guys have been around the block quite a few times, and they're here to run it back once more. So let's head down to the stage. Bring them out.
Et oui, on est au milieu de la scène. Il y a une très bonne ambiance. Je suis au milieu de supporters de Tribe, donc on va devoir la faire en anglais. C'est un petit peu obligé. For all of you guys, this is good vibes right here. The Tribe Gaming crowd is absolutely insane. I have no idea if you guys can hear me, but you know what? I think it's time to say welcome. Their colleagues from Europe won earlier. It's time to welcome the kings of NA, Tribe Gaming!
Tribe Gaming NA really have proved themselves to be the powerhouse of the North America and LATAM North region. Zulan, Aslibby, Tyrant and Corey have set the precedent for dominance with 5 grand final appearances and 4 grand final wins under their belts. With a whopping 965 points earned throughout the year, they towered over their rivals and are no strangers to the World Finals, looking to make it third time lucky to get their hands on that BSC trophy.
Some harsh lessons learned recently by your March, May, July, and August NA and LATAM North monthly champions, Tribe NA, has started to realize that in order to stay afloat, in order to stay ahead of the pack, they had to come up with something different. Eslivy really infusing this team with some youth and more vivacity. But let's now get ready to meet Tribe's opponents.
Et on est toujours là, on a ramené, on pouvait pas avoir que du Tribe, on l'a refait en anglais. We couldn't have any Tribe, right? We need some Na'Vi fans to welcome one of the big teams as well. That's gonna be a massive one. Massive noise, max of noise for Na'Vi!
Na'Vi came into the competition a little later than others, but boy, did they make up for some lost time. MMA, Cubic, Angel Boy, and Alex have a fan following to move mountains and hold a reputation to match. For the 2021 World Finals, they made the grand final, but fell just short to Zane's division. Nonetheless, being within an arm's reach of gold only serves to add fuel to the fire, and through constant growth in this year's competition, they're coming in hot.
Now, Tus Vincera means born to win in Latin, and this team has been on the rise. 2 second-place finishes in the September and October monthly finals. Yes, they start a little bit late over in the EMEA region, but they turn up with a bang. Previously, just dominating that EECA region, right? Felt like Na'Vi head and shoulders above the rest, didn't have the competition, but these big fish jumped into an even bigger pond, and they still stay afloat. That's what you love to see. And they're here to show the world that EMEA reigns supreme.
Yeah, exactly. I love to watch constant progression in any competition, and that's what Na'Vi have really demonstrated. They came in a bit late,
But that didn't deter them. Their results in those early monthly finals weren't great. Some quarterfinal exits, but towards the end, getting to that grand final, despite coming a little bit short, to Tribe Gaming EU in that final month, they still made it consistently there, and I feel like they are coming in a very, very good place. Their mindset has got to be on point here today.
Special moment for this Navi team who had to attend the World Finals last year remotely, right? The lights, the action, the crowd, the energy was something that was foreign to them in that occasion, and they performed really well. Now the question is, what happens when we plonk you in the middle of the maelstrom that is our Disneyland Paris World Finals? That's the question. A lot of fans behind this Navi team, and they're really hard not to like. Their sort of antics in the post-game, we see them on camera all the time, especially sort of shutting out SK Gaming in the October monthly final. They won 3-2. SK were put in a position where they have to try and reverse sweep, and they kind of shut them out. On Tribe's side of things, I do want to see what they've been working on here, because they've definitely been on shakier ground. I really do think it's less about them falling off, but more about the rest of the region, moving up. And that's what they say, a rising tide lifts all ships. And you better hope that Tribe Gaming have got their floaties on.
Yeah, it was, a tough September, but Tribe Gaming in losing in that semi-finals to Batra, that 2-3, and again in October, losing in the quarterfinals. It started to dwindle down, but then again, they had been the first team in the region to qualify for the World Finals. They can afford to take things a little bit easier, but for Navi, it was a constant battle all the way until the end, and the draft now coming in. Let's see, Piper Band, Bonnie Band, and Colette on the side of Tribe Gaming in for the bridge. For the bridge too far, Heist coming in. Carl, Max, and Daryl Band now by Navi.
Characterized by these really long lanes. We saw what Daryl can do on this kind of map right earlier on. If you leave him alone with your safe, it's going to be blown to smithereens. Recalling Rotator is ridiculous. It's sort of working that down and is very, very scary if it's going to charge more of those supers up. Teams were having to 1v2 that Daryl, give up the mid lane and just sort of try and collapse the side lane to answer that threat. So pretty prescient selection to ban here, and Carl also. Navi don't want any of these shenanigans. This team is really aggressive. They have some really wacky takes on the metagame and sort of what to draft. That's what sort of makes this extra exciting. And MMA is up there on the stage. That's a rarity for this team.
Yeah, it's going to make a difference when it comes to the draft. First pick going to be coming in soon. I love 8-bit on this map. I think that B also can have some great value. Despite that Daryl being banned, it's still going to pack a punch. Brock going to come in. That's going to allow for some interesting dynamics within that mid. Being able to break everything open. And Eve, therefore, as well, coming in on the side of Tribe. They're going to utilize a lot of their maneuverability on this map. There's a lot of water in which Eve can get a lot of value from just her natural abilities on this particular map. But it's going to be a long-range game, no doubt about it. And with the bands of Piper coming in, and there's the 8-bit for Tribe, if you get that 8-bit in range of the safe, put the damage booster down, maybe even have a damage gear rolling in as well, extra credits is going to get a lot of value on him.
Against sharpshooter-heavy compositions, Eve Super Baby Boom is actually quite powerful. Their low fire rate of sharpshooters makes it hard for them to deal with those sort of baby Eves that start to run at you. So that's definitely something worth considering. Provides a lot of pressure, and on a map like Bridge Too Far, it's very easy to hatch those, right? Throw that back behind you, keep it safe, and then set up in a big way. 8-bit is crucial. You can make those forays forward, right? Maybe go overextend, you could say a little bit, get that safe pressure, and then back up. Lola getting locked in next.
I like that from Navi. It's one that they have gone to time and time again, and it is going to have a great deal of area spray, and there's always something to have on the left or right hand side lane that can really scout those bushes for you and seek out and destroy. Third and final pick for Navi coming in, and it's going to be a riskier time for them. They haven't really got much choice of the tank, and they're going to play a huge risk. Colt coming in. What a draft for Navi, but here's the thing about Cole, it can get some tremendous taps, but you've got to land those shots, and that is where Tribe Gaming NA can make it very, very difficult in that respect and make sure those jukes are really on point.
Yeah, Cole obviously weaker against enemies that can strafe effectively or brawlers with high speed, but these lanes are really quite confined. So if you're just firing straight down the lane, it can be pretty hard to avoid the brunt of this damage. Of course, there's like an environmental destruction potential, a silver bullet. Bell getting locked in here, probably not a huge surprise. Also, a nice pick against Lola, right? Either connect onto that Ego or Lola, get the shock bouncing back and forth, get extra damage, and also able to pressure. And again, one of the few sharpshooters left available at this point in the draft. And that's why I'm kind of surprised that Navi went with the Colt, because more often than not, when you see a Lola drafted, the follow-up is normally the counter to it, and it may have helped them out a little bit, and Tribe have got themselves in a good spot. The thing about the 8-bit, though, is the fact that, in terms of maneuverability, much slower. Therefore, Colt shots can land far more effectively. So Zulan is going to have to get those turrets coming in really, really quickly.
What do you make of this double lane on the left-hand side from Navi?
I mean, now the Belgians are starting to ricochet between the two. I think they're going to start to second guess it. But Livy is connecting so nicely on his own, and MMA jumping through, strains the shots of Zulan, he gets taken down, and now damage gear plus extra credits onto the safe.
That is bizarre. Rocket Lace is used to go across the lane and try and fight an 8-bit up close and personal. The guy is hefty.
You can't do that against an 8-bit. You can't. Now MMA being marked up in the mid is a concern, and the double right-hand side lane takedown was beautiful there for Tribe, as Livy can't quite find the shot on MMA, but Zulan once again coming in with some great damage, and look at this scoreline. In fact, Navi have done a pretty decent job themselves of getting some, on their own.
Yeah, good pressure from that left-hand side lane at the start of the round now. Tyron's hatching something. Let's see if it's a nasty plot or a goose egg. Shot down the middle here as Tyron's having to keep a little bit of space, but Navi's safe is pretty darn low. MMA under pressure once more as Livy starts to posture forward. Here come Tyron and Co. And Zulan doesn't care about giving up his life. That's tons of damage and 14% on the safe.
Now Tribe have to try to slow the advance here. It's going to be a tough right-hand side lane, but Angel Boy goes low.
Dirty.
Great takedown there from Livy, and he's getting the shots on point. Tyron comes in. It is done. The first game goes the way of Tribe.
We foreshadowed this a little bit about Navi, right? Some of their drafts and some of their executions are kind of wild. And we just don't see much of MMA. Very much a spiritual leader for this team, right? A real captain's captain. But coming in here again, a lot of pressure on him to deliver that same brand that we maybe saw from him last year. Tough start for Navi.
Okay. Well, Navi need to learn a little bit about that early game approach. And Tyron does win the lane, 45 HP to his name. Great stuff from him, but and the juke on top of that, and the pickup. My word, Tyron, that was lovely.
Again, if you can juke those cold shots, he starts to become pretty vulnerable. Tyron really laying claim towards the middle part of the map there. Love that little jump from him. Eventually will fall down to the incendiary field. MMA has to use rocket laces to get away, but Livy is pressuring this right-hand side. Cubic tries to send up to Zulan, and the pressure is decent, but reinforcements are on the way.
It's keeping Navi mismarked, though, there from Livy. The shots will ricochet, though, between both Angel Boy and the safe, and continuing to do just that. The spray down from Cubic is connecting onto Zulan, and Zulan is shooting for his life. He does go down. Now, can Navi get out of this spawn and start to return some of this damage?
A lot of pressure now being applied to Tyron as Angel Boy has knocked down some of those barriers in the middle part of the map. Navi begin to smell that blood in the water. They like the staying power to keep pressuring down. MMA takes a salvo. He's so low, and now Tyron's just trying to guess where he is. He guesses right.
Beautiful stuff. Honestly, Tribe are looking like they just have so much synergy right now. They're picking up the pieces every now and again, struggling to find Navi within the bush, but when they do, it's swift and quick takedowns. Tyron now able to focus his attention onto the safe, and we haven't really seen much from Navi in this round. That's a concern.
Tyron is getting everything he wants in this middle part of the map right now. Well, fast track back to spawn in that case, but still, as Livy's able to make the trade respond, QB going to get pressure from the backside. It's to waste a couple shots on those Evelings as they pressure down. Another damage amplifier from Zulan here. To really just try and block some of these shots as Cubic lays it on thick. It's not enough, though. Here comes Zulan, posturing aggressively. It's 27 and counting on the safe. And Tyron will stand once the smoke clears.
Yeah, it's kind of didn't quite position himself there with the incendiary, but he had a great advantage to be able to get those shots. Nonetheless, though, I think the Tribe have done enough for now, and Navi with no time really, except for Angel Boy all on his own. This one's done. Tribe Gaming NA are going to take this first set, and they looked very comfortable in doing so.
Something unexpected.